This is like a complete side note. Do you mind moving my camera over a little bit? Yeah, I just want to make sure I get this. Everyone, we have a slightly interesting day. I was setting up my camera because we're going to be meeting with someone for Creative Minds, and I just want to make sure I got my nice camera set up. Yeah, first thing in the morning, today's the day we're going to leave off. This person I'm meeting with, he's actually in GMT, which is, I don't even know, like East Greenwich time or something like that. So homeboy's like across the world. Let's see if he's in here. Hey, what's going on?
That's good, bro.
I'm doing all right.
It's not even gonna do it. Like, I love it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I love the whole, like, you feel like a connection. Like, I think from a very young age, I've just been so interested in taking a moment and saving it somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just fell in love with that growing up. Spent like 3 years, 7. You know, I'm just traveling from one state to another, like helping people grow.
I just got off that phone call, and it's so hard when people I want people to come to these retreats, and they're in different countries, so they're paying like, you know, thousands of dollars maybe for their flights to come to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like not a very common place at all, bro. What do I do? I want to help them out, and this is where like some of the sponsor money in my head, like we should just have a allocated spot. I don't know why we didn't think about this before, for people who are traveling from overseas or they're traveling from other places, because it's honestly like kind of ridiculous. Like, how do we help the people who really do need help to come to these events because they're super talented, but their flight is thousands of dollars more? We want everyone to pay around the same price for these retreats. So, I mean, even like a 50% discount on the ticket, you know, would be useful. I have to run the numbers and see if it makes sense, but like, this is the real part of event planning. I think that was a surprising challenge, is the transportation. How do people get there? And making sure that not just the people who are in the US get to benefit from these retreats, but the people who are outside and who are insanely creative, but they still don't have a community, but they're insanely creative, and you know, they just might not be able to afford the $1,500 flight it takes to get from one place to another. Let me just see how much this flight would cost. Oh my goodness, no. This cannot be. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna say where he's from because I don't know, bro. It's straight up like $2,000, bro. The cheapest flight is $1,700, bro. I don't know, I just see this and I'm like, what do you do? Like, I want to bring this person here, but money is a factor. But all right, you know, it's one of those, like, God wants him to be there, then he'll be there. But at the end of the day, the international ones are always going to be a little bit of a challenge. So you have to be able to provide for them in a little way. I was talking about that storm yesterday night, and I'm scared for my flight. Look at that. This is the pond next to our house. It's like completely flooding. Kind of makes me a little bit stressed. This really is just one of those, like, what are the odds that today, the day that I have to fly, is a day when there's 50-mile-an-hour winds? And I think for reference, I think the winds, I'm not going to get into it, but the winds for the plane in Toronto that went upside down when they were landing, I think were like 30 or 40 miles an hour. Definitely wasn't 50. So, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I feel a little bit concerned. I just saw a post yesterday, and I have to find this because this could not be true. No, this is crazy, bro. CMS cancels school for March 5th because of the wind, bro. The safe operating wind speed for school buses is under 30 miles an hour. And because these winds are about to be like 50 from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m., this is crazy, right? A school bus is being grounded, but my flight's not supposed to be? Like, there's no chance I'm traveling today. There's no chance. Like, do you wait for like a pocket of air that's safe enough for you to travel? Like, I want to understand how this works. I'm gonna check my flight information right now. Travel alert, let's see. When severe weather, I mean, right now it's on time. We have to leave out of here like 1:30. Bro, like, what do I do? Like, I literally had a dream about this because I was so stressed out. I had to wake up in the middle of the night and just start reading the Bible, bro. Like, I was dead, like, stressed out. All right, so whenever I plan on traveling to make life easy, I actually have this Notion document that has all of the stuff I would need for trips of varying lengths. For example, I have like a few options. The smallest one is a 5-day trip. Every time I take these, I'll uncheck all those boxes and I'll pretty much work from here. It's very, very useful. I'm only gonna be there for like a day and a half, so it doesn't even feel like it's gonna be worth it, but I'll just get the stuff packed in here. I just have to uncheck all these freaking boxes. Yo, Nabila, speed through this, bro. That was awful. Okay, for a 5-day trip, but we're only gonna be there for 3. I think we can. Hold on. I have another luggage thing, but I mean, this is like old, reliable, low key, so I'm gonna just stick with it. All right. Bro, I really hope that my plane does not crash tomorrow. Enter his gates with thanksgiving in my heart, and enter his courts with praise. All right, we're going to LA. It's gonna be hot, but for style, we're definitely gonna still wear some pants. I'm just gonna reduce all the 4 to 3. So 3 shirts, 3 pants. I have some workout stuff there. Am I really gonna work out? Probably not, for sure. So let's see. This is pretty sick. These pants are kind of extra though, but they're fire. But they're kind of extra though. But they're fire. Look how big these pants are. They literally cover all of the space. Those are my like massive pants that I wore one time, and they're just super big and I love them. Even this is pretty sick, but I'm only gonna be at the event like literally for a day and then leaving after. So probably just gonna wear the same thing all day. I don't know, I really am doing too much. I was like washing all my clothes, completely forgot I had all this. I think it's gonna be too hot to wear this sweater, even though this is like my favorite sweater.
My favorite sweater.
Sweatpants, you already know that's gonna be for the trip down. We'll wear black sweats, always stay fashionable and more importantly, comfortable when you're in an airport. Stuff here. We're gonna swap out the pants and bring these black pants instead because these are tough. For the trip back, most definitely rocking some Sailor jorts. Also cool that I can wear these because it's gonna be warm, so might as well. That's if my flight lands tomorrow. Like, I really don't know what to do. Like, I'm joking about it, but I actually don't know what to do. Shirts, I think I'm just gonna go plain white. Plain white tee, easy, calm. Isn't God the greatest? Gotta flex the Christianity muscle, represent him through all of my clothing. Plain black tee. This t-shirt is one of my favorites for some reason. I got it as a blank, creating a clothing brand. This is supposed to be what my clothes are supposed to be on, and I actually love it, but never use it. Let's throw in a wife beater, just in case. Also need to make sure you have a belt. Very important. What's gonna happen to you if you don't subscribe to the channel? I was getting every angle of my not Johnson closet. Hold on, my closet. As you can see, I can easily check it off. 4 shirts, 3 pants, 6 boxers. Yo, here's a traveling tip, okay? If you pack too much of anything, it should be your boxers. That's my opinion, for men at least. You never know what happens, bro. I used to keep boxers in my backpack when I was going to school, just in case, bro. You never know. You never know. I never want to get caught lacking without boxers. That's a personal opinion, so. All right, and then we have a bunch of socks. I think we just need white socks. Okay, so green shoes, belt, bonnet. I need that in a bandana. one sweatshirt. I really like this sweatshirt by Selah. I'm probably gonna end up bringing Mercy. I love this sweatshirt a lot. It reminds me of what God's given me, mercy. I'm probably gonna wear this to the airport. So I'll put that on the ground. My ground's clean. I just vacuumed it. Stop judging me. Go clean your own room. Go clean your own dusty, musty room. You probably can't even see it. Can't even see your room, how dirty it is. Don't look at my room because I put my stuff on the ground. Ridiculous. The next thing that I do when I travel is have a travel bag just in case. The travel bag has everything that I normally have, and half of it is already prepared, which is fire. Like I said, I'm only gonna be gone. I found some money. 15 bucks. That's sick. So we got body wash, body lotion, more body wash. Okay, yeah, we don't need 2 of these. This is supposed to be like a hydro gel for your face. Facial cleanser. This stuff is for my hair. This is an extra toothbrush. I don't want to use it though. I think I'm gonna use this one instead. I got this one from Walgreens or something. I have this like toothpaste, but I've been using Sensodyne, so I got this baby version of Sensodyne. Water spray bottle. Very important. So colognes, I've been blessed with a whole bunch of colognes. I actually probably carry more than one, but I have this Spice Bomb one. Now here's the thing. There are certain items that I need to keep on me at all times. All right, this is one of them. I got this from Uniqlo for $19. Shout out to Paulo. It's kind of stylish, looks kind of cool. And in it, I usually carry cologne. Always need cologne. You gotta make sure it's under like 2.5, whatever the heck. I think it's 3.4 fluid ounces. This is 3 fluid ounces. My toothbrush and toothpaste, because I have retainers in, and they're really annoying to take out, so just in case. I'll also put my phone in there. I'll put my portable charger in there. I'll put in any documents that I need, but this is like so essential to traveling. Like you can normally just walk into the plane with it and it's a whole extra pouch. Am I kind of annoying for being that person who carries an extra thing? Maybe. I just don't care. Look at this right here. Pick also goes in. What else do we have? Tweezers. You never know when you're gonna need some tweezers. Pick, cologne, melatonin. Bro, this stuff is so low-key essential for sleeping, like especially with time differences and stuff. I'm not advocating drug use, but when you're traveling, sometimes it can be nice to hit the hay with the full extent of your ability using some melatonin. Some people it doesn't work for. That sucks. Deodorant, Old Spice, face wash, oil. I'm using this, La Roche. You guys kind of bashed me last time I talked about this. La Roche Posay instead of Posay. My fault. That's pretty much it for this. So I've noticed like I get sick instantly when I travel. So the way to get rid of that for me has been to always make sure my vitamins are on point. And also an inhaler. More honorable mentions. Straight up Vaseline. This stuff is super important to have. Mini allergy relief, an air tag. Air tags are useful because you need to know where your stuff is. I named this one backpack. Never will ever lose my backpack. I also put an air tag in my luggage just in case, you never know. All right, here we go. Yo, peep that. Yo, I feel like straight up VIP, bro. I've never done this before, so I don't know how it works. I'm just hoping that they put my frequent flyer number on. The day that I go for pre-check is a day where nobody is flying, bro. You gotta be kidding me. Hello, how you doing?
You doing a podcast?
Oh, doing a vlog.
Huh?
A vlog.
Okay.
Just recording my life.
Okay.
Yeah, first time in TSA pre-check, so I had to record that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Enjoy the experience.
You know what I'm saying? It's over here? Oh, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Oh, they were lovely. There's no one here. I feel not even special at all. I guess the only difference is I don't have to take off my shoes. Yeah, that was sadly anticlimactic, bro. I want there to be 100,000 people that I get to skip by because of my exclusive access. Oh well, look at this spot. D11, that's where we're at. Dude, there's no one flying. No one flying because they know something that we don't know. Airports, they just give me this feeling, bro, like of tiredness. Every time in the airport, I have like less than 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So just being here always reminds me of how tired I am when I have to travel. How annoying it is to have to even put like a camera out in front of me and talk. How foreign it seems, but it is what it is, bro. We ball.
Signs and crew member instructions. All flights are not as tobacco. It's against the law to tamper.
I want to document this reaction to what it feels like taking off in, I feel like, the worst conditions you can take off in. The sky looks beautiful. Today be the day I join the Lord in paradise. Alright, we made it. Yo, landing was crazy because I couldn't see the ground. And I was looking outside for so long, like, yo, when does the ground start? And then I started seeing the tops of buildings. And I was like, yo, we are lower than I thought. And I just watched this video about this plane that crashed into the side of a mountain because they couldn't see because of a whiteout in Antarctica. And I was like, yo, is it time? It was not time. I was reading that book on the plane. Very good. I think I mentioned in my last video, if you don't know what you believe, you need to know what you believe. I still believe that. And sometimes I don't know what I believe myself, all the intricacies of my faith. And that's not very good if I want to pick whatever is correct. I guess I got to be clear about that. Like, I'm not tied to Christianity because I grew up in the religion or in the faith. I'm tied to it because it presents the most amount of evidence that makes logical sense in my mind. And you got to know what that is for you too. So do your own research. I've never had somebody pick me up from the airport like I'm VIP. Is this him? Yes. How are you? Nice to meet you. Good to meet you too, man. That's crazy. Wow. Tigran, this is a person who's gonna be bringing me. Appreciate you, man. Seriously, look at that. I'm official. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. This is the car? Yes. Dang, that's a huge car. Look at that. It's crazy how like normal this gets. I have the whole back seat to myself. Look at them, they give you VIP treatment at stand, holy cow. Nah, this is so excessive. I was just saying, like, I don't want these experiences to evade me. The fact that I get to do this kind of stuff for a living is craziness. This is a nice car. I'm sure you have some people with stand here. I'm also another one, yeah. Another one's coming in. Really? Wait, so are people not coming in here recording?
Not that I know of.
They're too shy then. Okay, what was your name? Heather, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, I'm trying to check in. Hopefully I'm at the right. Yeah, it's Roach, but it's Roche forever. Whoa, what the heck? Open water. All right, I'm gonna taste test this right now. I mean, it tastes like water. I thought it was gonna taste like anything else for some reason. Yeah, that's what Stan is, yeah. It's like this like conference. I'm gonna do one of the speaking things for it, but people who are online. No, I thought, okay, sorry, yeah, that does sound crazy. I was saying like this is my first one I'm going to, so I'm not even sure. Okay, thank you so much, appreciate it. There was some nice people here, bro, what the heck? I mean, I don't want to be mean, but maybe it's just because I pushed the camera into her face instantly. But nah, she was good vibes from the start. Let's go check out our room. We're at the Hoxton in LA at the Stand event. Nabila, play some trap music right now. You already know. Hey, do the Hoxton. It's the only way to go. Ooh, you already know. I'm about to put on a show. All right, I'm done. 418, look at that. All right, you guys already know camera eats first. We got this bed right here. Calm. A little bit of lighting here, so. Some nice lighting over here, so. You know, say about dresser here, so. I want a thing here with some, you know, so you have some tea. You know, so we have some tea. All right. Come, look on the view here, so. Look on this. All right, brick wall leading down to the bottom there. And over here, so we have one. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know, bro. I mean, this view is what it is. I'm actually so hungry. I want to order some food, but it looks like they gave me a little letter. We're gonna read this together. This is so cool, by the way. Like I was saying in the car before, like I never want to let these experiences become normal. Like it felt a little bit kind of, not normal, but just, you know, this is super special and I would have wanted to be here at any point in my career. So it's just crazy to kind of feel like I'm doing it. All right, it says, Joel, thank you for being a part of CollabFest 2025. We are beyond excited to have you on stage. Hold up, I didn't know there was gonna be a stage, and can't wait to soak up all the wisdom, inspiration, and gold you're bringing. We hope that you have a blast, and we'll be right there, hanging on to every word. The Stan team, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. We got a bag. She said there was milk in here. Is this alcohol? Oh, is it? It's literally wine. All right, we have an alcoholic beverage. Now I appreciate it, but we do not drink. We do not drink on this channel. You understand me? We do not drink. We got this, M&M's, This will be consumed 100%. I'm eating this right now. I'm so hungry. All right, my friends, it's time to get a little bit real. I mentioned this book. I don't have enough faith to be an atheist. This book is all about how it's just as hard, if not harder, to believe in atheism as it is to believe that there is a God. This is so interesting to me because growing up, I always thought about it the other way around. I thought it takes a lot of faith to believe that there's a God in the sky or there's a God somewhere who will save us from our sins. And I thought that atheism makes the most amount of sense. Humanism, the fact that we can only believe what we can see. But taking a deeper dive into it is making me learn a lot of things and see things from the other perspective. Atheism in and of itself is a belief in nothing. It's still a belief. I'm realizing that there is a desire sometimes for us not to submit to the will of something else. We don't want to. I don't want to. I want to do whatever I want to do and then not get punished for it. But that isn't going to lead me anywhere positive when you start basing your morality on things that you think are correct as opposed to an objective truth. That's where it gets complicated. That's where the message of Christianity gets offensive. That's where it gets difficult to figure out what you can or cannot support. And that's a tricky part of life that I'm in right now, trying to figure out what it is that I believe at its core. Now, the only reason I'm saying this is because I really want to be transparent about what it is I'm going through, because I'm trying to create content for my future self. If you didn't see that video, you should check it out. But in all seriousness, I want everyone who watches this video to hopefully just think about what they believe in. I'm not saying that you have to be Christian. I'm not saying you have to do anything. I can't control what any of you guys do. What I am saying that you have to do is understand what you believe in. You have to understand what you believe in or why you believe what you believe. You have to say, I would 100% certainty know that I believe in this because of this. If you're on the process of figuring it out, that's another story. It's not like you have to have 100% knowledge. I think that I don't think that we will ever have 100% knowledge in anything that we're looking to try to figure out. But I think that we can have enough to make a conclusion that is very cemented in evidence that we've formed or that we've collected and led us to our conclusion. Like the way this book says is like you have 95% of the information, the rest of the 5% is the faith that you have. Whether it's faith in atheism, whether it's faith in something else, whether it's faith in Christianity, faith is always going to be an aspect of what you believe because we will never, ever, ever, ever 100% know everything, okay? I have to be serious with you guys about this stuff because if what I believe is true, if I do believe in Christianity and I do believe that God's coming back, then it is kind of my moral obligation to one, learn as much about what I truly believe in as I possibly can, and two, share the message that I believe in to other people. Now, I want to be very clear. It's not a message of forcing an ideology on someone else. My message that I want to force people to, force is crazy. Don't take me out of context. The message that I want to show to the people who are watching my videos is it's a message of taking your beliefs, studying your beliefs, living according to your beliefs, and leaving no area of doubt that your belief is based off of this evidence you've collected and that you've formed the best opinion based on that. I'm sick and tired, bro, of hearing people tell me things that they haven't thought. Like, you can't tell me your belief if you haven't thought about it. You can't tell me that you align with a certain religion. You can't tell me you align with a certain ideology if you don't believe it. Atheism is one, for example. Atheists believe that there is no God. Are you, if you claim that you're an atheist, 100% sure that that's the case? Are you 100% sure that's the case? Are you? If not, okay, then you're agnostic. You think maybe it's possible that there is a God. Where does your moral compass come from? Really, that's really what I'm trying to figure out. Like, and you guys have to figure this out too. Like, it's not enough to say you believe something and then not look into it. Like, where you could die tomorrow. What do you believe? Are you going anywhere or not? For real. I said this at the end of my last video. I seriously believe it, and I think this book is doing a pretty good job at helping me understand it. I'm gonna have a retreat for creative minds. I'm gonna finish this book before then because I think it's gonna help a lot with some of the conversations that I'd like to just have in general about our faith and what I believe in. But I just want to make that part known. Like, I'm diving deeper into what I believe. You should be diving deeper into what you believe. You just need to know what you believe, okay? End of the day. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna read a little bit more of this. The chapter's called, Why Should Anyone Believe Anything at All? I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll have to see. The next thing I think we're gonna do is just wake up tomorrow and go to this event. Let's see how it is. I just also wanted to point out this one other thing. If you are trying to figure out a little bit more of what you believe and you don't really know where to start, this book actually does talk about the things that in our life, the questions that I think we're all searching to look for. One is origin, where do we come from? Identity, who are we? Meaning, why are we here? Morality, how should we live? Destiny, where are we going? If you haven't ever asked yourself those questions, I think that's a really great place to start. Ask all those questions and just think about it for a little bit. We'll get back to that though. We woke up, we're gonna go get some breakfast downstairs, see how it is. I'm probably gonna switch to the Osmo, only for like the fact that this is kind of bulky. It's always kind of a forced recording in public, but the Osmo makes it easier. And that's why today's video is sponsored by DJI. No, I'm just messing, it's not sponsored by anything. Boy, this is so expensive. Am I stupid? I can't find any pancakes. It's like the only thing I ever look for is pancakes and eggs. Look how good this looks. Oh my goodness. We gotta take this food up to Blessed Nurse. We got any precious money, Jesus Christ to eat. Alright, say less. This is very good. This is BC. This is also someone who was in the Stand Dare Dream contest. I'm not gonna lie, I was worried that I was like, dude, I don't know if I can make it, bro, with this. This dude was traveling the world, changing the world. I was like, all right. If you won, I would not have been mad at all. Yeah, I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. But
you gotta play basketball for the actual winner.
Oh, you play ball?
Yeah, bro.
You're not gonna win, bro. I'm sorry, like you're not gonna win, bro. I'm sorry. There's no chance.
If you're watching this in a couple episodes, we're gonna play basketball one-on-one.
I'm sorry, dude.
Bring the check. Bring the.
Did you play in like college or did you play in school?
I played a little bit of college.
Oh shoot. I don't know. You guys know that I definitely would win, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Either way, BC's fire. Check him out. I'll leave his stuff too on the video. This guy's awesome. Marlene, good to see you. Yeah, we thought we were gonna get a car. That is not true. But we got the squad of people who are also gonna be speaking. Very exciting. Look at that building, graffiti like crazy. All the way up. And then Crypto, LeBron plays over there. This could not be more confusing.
You go around this way because it's way cooler. Oh, okay. Cool.
Mystery man about to bring us into this building. What in the world? They're so excited all the time. That's like scary. I feel like you have that same energy as well. Like, it's a little bit like concerning. You think I'm joking? I'm not. I'm serious.
There you are.
I'm legit now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Whoa! This is crazy. They're so energetic, bro. Oh my god. Whoa. Kind of overwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie. There's so many people here congratulating me for the competition, which of course it feels really good, but it does feel very strange sometimes. But this is where we're gonna be for our panel. Look at this. This is about to be us here. I guess everyone will just be around asking questions or something. And look at this, like I think that it gets all filmed, which is sick. Keep that. Holy cow, these people are not playing around. This is really where I'm like, I guess seeing where like content creation can take you, like, bro, this is such a crazy experience. I am not gonna be able to take this all in. This is a rage room, craziest thing I've seen. I don't know, this feels barbaric.
Say, wow, you guys have built this great media empire. And they said, how do I do it? I said, you have to take one step at a time. So if you're in that moment where like, oh,
this is like a complete side note. Do you mind moving my camera over a little bit? Yeah, I just want to make sure. I think creating content that people actually want to watch is kind of making content that you yourself would watch. If I can watch my own content back and not get bored, I think I'm like, okay, I'm in a pretty good place, I think. But you have to be really intentional with, like, is my content bad or not? Like, would I really watch it? So kind of trying to make sure you follow a storyline that you yourself would actually watch.
Yeah, I would say creating content that people actually want to watch is actually being a little selfish. I think a lot of it is being as authentically you as possible. If I think about people in my life even who I really like to be around, it's usually the people who aren't afraid to show very like different parts of themselves. So I think that when you show up as you, it allows other people to feel like they can show up as them. It allows people to, one, feel more connected to you, but then two, also feel like they can do the same in their own life.
These days, we're really competing not with like just people who create the similar type of content. We also compete with cat videos and dog videos, this ASMR send videos. So like we really need to grab people's attention. As much as I hate this word like hooks and stuff, because people I think like, overuse it. Content that stands out, that also provokes any emotions, which can be happiness, sadness, maybe sometimes anger or eek when they watch your content. But this is also the content that makes people come back to you.
Before I used to do content creation, I was working with real estate agents, and I don't know if anyone has ever worked with real estate agents, but they're really good at selling stuff. They're not really good on camera. I was a camera person. I was like pissed. I was like, dude, you got to say it this way. Trust me. Like, you don't understand. And he didn't understand. I used to work for doing videography, so I'd do the video for the house, and I'd say, if you just put yourself, just talk on camera, and it's so difficult. So I started doing it myself. When I quit my job, I took my 401k. It's so irresponsible, and I spent it all on Airbnbs with the hope that eventually the people who own the Airbnbs would have me do some of their work for their other properties. And it actually did work. And there was a video, the last video I ever made, which is, I think the reason why I'm here, is one where I said, can I just do it like, instead of a tour of a property, can I just make it a vlog where I just talk and I'm just me? And that video is the only reason that my page on YouTube started blowing up. And I was like, okay, so it's personality that really carries. I was like, okay, this is something I need to lean into extremely heavily for my content.
Specifically in the short form world, because if you scroll like all the way to the bottom of my feed, you can visibly see the shift between when I was just kind of creating stuff that was me experimenting, me trying a bunch of trends and things like that, to when I finally started to create a series of content that is very based on stories and experiences that only I can tell. They're common themes that I think a lot of people can experience in their own life, but told through the lens of my own experiences. I documented the journey of me telling my parents the truth about quitting my job, and that series again just got a lot of people following along and trying to see this because they could relate to it in their life, even though it was my personal story.
For me, it was making mostly authority style content, so like tutorial style, educational type of content, and it really helped me grow. As soon as I started actually implementing storytelling pieces, this is when I saw the biggest shift, when I actually started creating connections with people. The first reel when I shared about my digital nomading journey, when I thought like I want to do it, it was incredible. But like I shared that, you know, the grass is not always greener on the other side, and it really resonated with people. I was getting so many DMs. The views were not as good as my educational style content, but this is the trade-off. The connections that I was able to create and the conversations in my DMs were honestly like to the next level. So these days I'm really trying to really double down and like create more of storytelling videos.
I actually think every one of us has a unique position that we're in life, and you can't really understand it because we're living it every single day. I was an immigrant from Jamaica. People might connect with me for that reason, or I'm trying to become an influencer online and make content. That's a very unique position. So the content in my life, I already know it's going to appeal to people who kind of want to be in my situation, and I kind of try to focus on those pieces. Currently, it is video editing, and like anytime I tell people how I do things, they're like, this is pretty cool. I like to focus on those parts of my day that deal with me improving the skills that I have that lead me to this goal that is pretty similar for the people who are watching my content. I think in general, like I always think about what is it that I'm doing that's going to resonate with my audience, or like even this is something I can make a video about. Like I spoke at an event, that's pretty cool, and people are going to connect with it in some way because of my backstory or whatever that is. So always thinking about that, but picking the pieces that align with the end goal and trying to make them understand like this. I'm a real person too, and this is just how I think in these scenarios. I think
it forced me to reflect a lot on the direction that I want to go in my life, because a lot of the friction came from, okay, I spent over $100,000 on my engineering degree, and I spent over 6 years in school. Like, am I wasting my time? Am I throwing away something that I invested so heavily into? But I think you have to be willing and open to letting go of the ego and the status games. And so I think that was like a big point of contention for me. And I think that being able to share and talk about those experiences authentically through the lessons that I share online are the things that people don't often talk about, but I think are the things that people need to hear the most. And so I think it's funny because when you were talking about what you were saying just now, I take almost a very different approach where I'm not actually thinking about what other people will think of my content. I just put a lot of stuff out there based off of what I feel like is a good reflection of me and like what selfishly I want. And then over time, I've started to kind of, from doing just like so many reps, I've started to understand, oh, this is what people seem to understand. This is where the gap closes between the message that I want to put out and how people receive it. And I think the the smaller you can close that gap, the better your content will perform. And a lot of that just comes from putting in volume and getting the reps in. I, as much as possible, try to ignore the trends and stuff like that. Like the more that I've created content, the less I've actually started to consume and watch things in my niche. Because I think that after a while, everything starts to look the same. And in order to actually like bring something new to the table, you have to focus on other areas of life, whether that's like, again, other hobbies or experiences, and figure out how you can uniquely blend that with the things that you want to tell. Because that's how you get something truly unique. Realistically, like trends are always going to change. And if you're always trying to like chase the next thing, you're going to get lost in your own journey of like what you want to create as a person.
I so agree. Like not all likes on Instagram are created the same. Like not all engagements the same. If you run a meme account, you might get hundreds of millions of views, but you run a meme account, like no one knows who you are. And that's not a position you want to be in.
We love the memes though.
No. Not for business. But I think if you're trying to grow something long term, you have to say, okay, if I tell my personal story and people really resonate with that, it doesn't matter if 10 people come in every day. That's still 10 people who believe in me, and my content that I create is always going to be about me, so they'll always be there supporting me through it. So I 100% agree.
Also, like, no shame. If anyone likes trends and like wants to follow them, like go for it. Like the main differentiation is like if you're doing a trend because you think it will make you go viral versus if you are doing a trend because you think it's fun. If you think it's fun, like 100% do it and like just have fun with it. But if you're doing it because you think it will like make you viral, then you might run into the trap where you do something, you go viral, but then what? Is it actually like what you wanted to create?
I have this like thing in my head that TikTok is like very personable. Like you can make content on your phone for real. Like I could just be here talking and make content like that. Instagram is more, I guess, professionally personal, I guess. But people like the cool edits and all those stuff. And YouTube feels like the new wave of like OG vloggers. People just want to see content like really raw. So my YouTube content will never look like my Instagram content. It's much slower, and I understand that, and it grows a little bit slower too. I think if you try to repurpose this content, if I'm trying to take a piece of my YouTube video and put it on Instagram, probably not going to do well because I'm not paying attention to the different types of people on these different platforms. So yeah, I definitely catered my content towards each of those platforms for sure. Like if you get a hit with a YouTube video and you think you can't exactly what you said, you can just repurpose the elements that resonated with that audience and put it to a short form piece of content for sure. I think that's like how, if you have an email newsletter too, like that's how you should do it too. Just take the same things. It really does work. The alternative is a 9 to 5. I can't do that.
But I think it's just like proving to myself that I can do it. I think that like if you put in so much work, it's like you only really fail if you stop trying. So as long as you keep trying, like you haven't failed yet. And even if you fail, just like keep trying again.
Thank you again. Appreciate all of you.
Thank you.
The talk went very, very well, I think. Now they're doing like this like happy hour where they're all talking. I'm just like pretty tired. I could just sit here for a long time and just low-key fall asleep. All right, I'm headed to go get some food with Katie, one of my friends that I met at the first retreat. We're gonna meet up with Thomas Yoon as well and one of his other boys. Pretty exhausted though. I'm actually excited to be back so I can go to sleep, so I can wake up. I've never been more tired. No freaking way. Samsung just hit me up. I gotta talk to you guys though about something I've been feeling, which is I feel like I'm going through a lot of success and sometimes it feels like very like rude to accept it. It feels like pretty rude sometimes to be in front of people and like, yo, I just won $120,000 or like, yo, I just, this company and this stuff, I'm doing so well in life. I just feel like kind of out of touch with the people I'm around sometimes. It makes me not really know how to feel, you know? Thank you very much, sir. This guy didn't even know this, but I don't know, it's just weird, bro, because like I get this opportunity, but then like the people around me aren't necessarily getting those opportunities at the same level. Dude, it's just like that decision for the whole film set right here. Look at that. What is this? Wow. Yo, that's LA for you. That's LA for you, bro. I wonder what they're filming. That's literally LA. You just walk by a film set just so casually.
Yeah. When I started doing that, people were like, you know, headspace.
Yeah, his insight on what he's saying. So last night was good. It was kind of sporadic and all over the place, and I was like genuinely so tired that it was actually difficult to vlog. Like actually, I was so tired. Probably the jet lag. Today we have to leave out at who knows what time I have to check out of this place. I'm not even gonna check. I'm just gonna do my thing and pray that someone doesn't come to try to clean up. But we're gonna get that same breakfast we got yesterday. It was fantastic. Probably gonna get ready and head out of here. I do want to talk though about some of the things that I learned while I was on this experience that I think might be useful. Firstly, what I noticed during the entire trip was I was actually one of the people in the position of knowledge, which is really cool. This conference in particular is a lot of people who are in the business niche but still have some problem. So it was pretty interesting that whenever I went there, a lot of people were congratulating me for winning the competition, which was really cool. But a lot of them would also have a problem that they were trying to go through and they were facing. I felt weird because to be put in a position of authority sometimes feels weird when you struggle with imposter syndrome. And I did kind of feel that way. Like, I mean, who am I to even really provide advice to these people? Like, I don't actually know what I'm doing fully. But I know a little bit more about what they're doing. So I think that also drained me a lot because I was answering a lot of questions, and that was pretty difficult. I actually think everyone should always take notes. My problems are pretty niche to me, but just so you can get an idea of what was going on in my head during that. When I wasn't in a position of telling people, I was trying to learn from the people, specifically the keynote speakers who were there. So the first concept that I heard was you need to own your audience. This was from the first keynote, who was from actually the founder of Jubilee was there. I don't know if you guys have seen Jubilee before. It's like they do these 20v1s or like just a lot of content that you've literally definitely seen before online. And he was talking to us about you have to own your audience, and a lot of our content is top of funnel and we have that part down, but we have to own our audience and that we have to move them away from social media and onto platform like Stan, which, you know, let's be fair, this person's going to try to endorse Stan in their competition, but you need to move your audience off of your platform to something that you can control. And for me, that's like, I want to do a lot of teaching or course-based content or providing digital products for people to help them in their own creative journeys. But a big problem with that I'm realizing is research. So even outside of what I'm going to tell you, I need to perform a lot of research and figure out what my audience likes and what they're doing and what position they are in their life. I have to invest in that part of my audience because that's what's going to help me develop something that they actually need. And if you don't do that part too, because this is also for you, it's going to be very easy to assume what your audience needs and make a product that they didn't ask for and then be confused as to why it's not doing as well as you thought it would do. Sometimes we have to, well, I mean, really just can't move in a position of selfishness when we're trying to help the people in our audience, and that definitely kind of pointed it out. The next thing he said is that you need true synergy, and he used this analogy of Disney. I'm gonna see if I can find the image. Walt Disney had Mickey Mouse. He only had like one character, but he designed what it would look like if Mickey Mouse and all of his stuff for Disney was implemented in different parts of life and how they would connect and what parts would go where. And that's kind of something that I want to figure out. What does my system overarching look like? How does my personality, me in the center, connect to YouTube? And then how does that connect to Instagram and then TikTok and then my management and then my courses? You know, just what I do day to day, my fitness, my life. Like, what does it look like? Maybe threads too. I'm trying to low-key see if I can just post some very personal content on a different platform to get people more involved. Like, what does that look like? And then he used this graph because a lot of people see creativity as a spectrum, as a line, linear, but it needs to be like a graph. So creative and commerce. Most people are good with creativity, but not commerce, and vice versa. You have to have an intersection between the two, but it's important to know that creativity and commerce are completely different axes. They are not on the same axes, which means the information that you know about creativity is not the same as the information you need to know about commerce. And that is the disconnect that a lot of people see. They think that creativity and commerce are linked. They are not linked. They're actually on completely different axes. So it's a completely different type of thinking and knowledge required for both of them. And to succeed, you have to combine both of them in one cohesive way. So imagine like a brand is the commerce side. They're not very good at creativity, so they outsource to creators. Creators are very good at creating. They're not good at branding necessarily or understanding the business part. So they go to brands for sponsorships. That kind of meets them in that middle area that we're talking about. All right, next thing, value side is what pretty much like making sure that you're getting enough value for what you're putting in and taking out. I also learned about email marketing. This is a huge problem that I have, which is here's the thing, guys. I want to be so transparent with you. I am trying to sell you guys a product. The thing is, everyone is trying to sell you a product. Do I think that my product is bad? No, I'm not trying to scam you, but I am trying to sell you on something. If you're interested in learning how to edit videos, I want to be the person to teach you. If you like how I edit my videos, I want to be the person to teach you. I think I can teach you, and I think I can teach you well. But of course, I'm trying to sell it to my audience because I want to help the people who are trying to become content creators, and I'm trying to figure out what it is that people like. So in this process, email marketing is something I'm trying to figure out. There's a girl named Hillary Hillary who does it. It'd be cool to try to get to work with her on this project. I don't know how much it's gonna cost, but I'm pretty aware that I have a pretty strong gap in my marketing funnel. So she kind of went through some of that stuff. I have her contact now, and I'd rather just use her as kind of like a coach or a mentor in the space because I can't figure this stuff out. And I think the last thing I learned was on the research category, pretty much just like I said before, like research is a pretty big problem if you're making content that you don't know if people like or not. So the research aspect of this was like, it was pretty profound. Like this guy showed me something that I'm gonna implement. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what it is, but just know I'm gonna be doing a lot of research for my audience to try to figure out what it is that they actually need. That's what I learned from CollabFest. Like I said, it was an awesome experience. It was just pretty overwhelming, but it was really good. You know, I actually got some questions too and some comments too about being Christian outside of or just online publicly. It was really cool to see that, and I always feel like I'm going to be treated differently because I'm Christian, and maybe honestly I will. Some of the questions that I got were more Christ-centered from some people that I didn't even think I would get those questions from, which is why I know, you know, people are searching for something even if they don't say it. And I was just talking to one of my friends, Norrance, yesterday, and he was saying like there is a struggle that people experience in silence. There's a struggle that people do not tell people about, and of course because of that the perception is that people are doing okay, and that's not the case. There's a quest for truth, true truth that people want to experience, and they're not going to get it through their own ideologies. So it was really cool to have some of those deeper conversations as well with some people, and I'm blessed. I think this was a really big blessing. I do think it was a pretty quick trip. I'm not really complaining, guys. I have so much stuff to get done. It's going to be a good rest of the day. I mean, shout out to Stan first of all for bringing me out here. Shout out to Mylene and Kate who are on the panel with me. You guys are super talented. Appreciate you, Caleb, for bringing me out as well. Caleb Shaw, and appreciate really everyone on the Stan team for making me feel super welcome at the event. Great job with the planning of it. I think every year you're gonna get better at what you do, and that's really cool. Piece of criticism, that rage room being next to everything was crazy, bro, because you'd be talking to someone and all of a sudden it sounds like gunshots are happening right next to you, and that's like very distracting, low-key. But it was fun though. It's cool. It's cool. So shout out to everyone who was a part of the planning committee. Shout out to everyone that I met. You guys are very talented individuals. All right, I'm gonna pack up. Let's go home.